we have Nazi and fascist thrown around in our politics willy-nilly. So it is almost always used for people that are on the political right. Currently, and since 2016, Donald Trump is the most recent subject of being called a fascist and a new Hitler.
We have the same in Germany. Everyone who's not left is far right or is even fascist or Nazis. This is the same in Germany.
How should I, as the American that doesn't know really anything about a history of fascism, understand what fascism even means for real?
Fascism is what they had in Italy with Mussolini. So I wouldn't use it for National Socialism. These were two very different systems. Of course, they had something in common as well. Communism and National Socialism had something in common. But fascism, this was the system in Italy, and National Socialism was the system in Germany.
I understand that Mussolini had a vision for fascism that ends up sounding like FDR in the United States, basically. The sort of big government colluding with big corporations in the name of the national interest, putting the sort of corpus or the body of the state first. Is that how you understand what Italian fascism meant?
Yes, and in this way, it's a little bit similar to National Socialism. I want to make the point, sometimes people ask me, was Hitler a socialist, or what is a socialist system? And my answer is yes and no. No, if you think about traditional socialism, because the traditional socialism or communism, they wanted to nationalize all private property, that it's all state-owned. This is traditional socialism, as they did it in Russia, or as they did it in China, for example. This was not what Hitler wanted, and not what Mussolini wanted. But of course, they wanted not capitalism, not a free market economy. What they wanted is a system like this. Hitler said it in one of his speeches. He said, I will tell the companies what they have to do and what they have to produce. And if they say, yes, we will do it, then I'm fine with this. Then I don't have to do it. If they don't do it, then I will do it by myself. So that means the state.
So how do you interpret the rhetoric in America around Donald Trump and the comparisons to Hitler? And for someone who's gotten their mind sort of like worked up to thinking we are on the verge of having Hitler 2.0, what do you have to say to them?
So I want to differentiate. Of course, it's always difficult and to compare someone with Hitler, because someone who killed 6 million Jewish people started a war, and if you compare it. But of course, there are things, as you said, that are in a way similar, and also a little bit how Donald Trump thinks about the economy. He's not a free market guy for the economy. He always thinks a little bit like where I tell the people what they have to do. Yes. On the other hand, Donald Trump did some good things, some deregulation, some lowering taxes because members of his parties won. And of course, I think in a way he admires people as Putin, or maybe even from North Korea, Kim, who he thinks that they are strong. But I don't believe that Putin is strong. He's not strong. Putin is a loser with atomic weapons. This is the real. If you look about the economy, even before he started the war, the GDP from Russia was less than Italy. And this is the biggest, there's no country in the world with so much resources and commodities as Russia is. And they depend only on their oil and gas, as some developing countries. Do you know any products, maybe a little bit in the militaries, but we in Germany, we have our cars and so on. You have your Apple there and your Facebook and your Google, and also the Chinese, they have some great, companies. But which Russian companies do you know? Vodka maybe, so they have a poor economy, and no one would ever listen to someone like Vladimir Putin or Kim in Korea if they didn't have atomic weapons. It's like a little bit in the school, yes, where you have some really smart, intelligent people, and then you have some who are only strong this way, yes, and you have fear from them, but only this is the only weapon that they have, their force. So I don't think that Putin he's only in a way strong because he's aggressive and he has all this, weapons. But if you wouldn't have them, he's not strong in a way. Even, I think he has a lot of fear because the situation for people in Russia is really bad. And sometimes these dictators, they start wars to bring the people in their country together. We know it from history. There are other cases when dictators started a war because they were weak inside, and it was the only way to bring the people in the country together. But this is the way how I see it. I think there's some reason that Donald Trump, maybe he has a total different view. It's complicated in the United States to speak. It's another topic about Donald Trump. I found it out here when I spoke with the people, because most of the people are this way. Either he's the God. If you criticize anything, oh no, everything is great what Donald Trump does. And for others, it's the evil. He's evil, the devil. And when you say, but he did some good things, he did some deregulation, no, everything he did was wrong. And if you have, like I have, a more differentiated position and say, some things are good that he did, sometimes are really crazy in a way, it's hard because in the end, maybe it will be a result now from this interview, you have only enemies because the people from, who love Trump, they say, oh, he criticized him, and the people who are saying, oh, he said something positive about Trump. But okay, I allow myself to have a more differentiated position.
So I was actually pleasantly surprised by his presidency insofar as he did a lot more, and maybe this was just the people he hired. He was more of a traditional Republican in terms of policy than it looked like he would.
I think the people, the party, the people, the donors and people who support him, that you have to bring taxes down and do some deregulation. Oh, did some good things. But I think the difference between Trump and, I don't want to compare him with Hitler because there are so many things different. Also, Hitler was someone very, he believed in an ideology and he had a worldview. All of his life, it was very consistent what he thought. Yes, this was the ideology he believed in, and these people are very, very dangerous. Trump, I think he has no ideology. The only thing he believes in that is me, his power, yes, like Machiavellist, yes, and opportunist, yes. It's about power. It's about being famous, yes. It's about and these things. So in some ways, these politicians are better than fanatic people with an ideology. In some ways, they are dangerous.
If you like this clip, we've got so much more where that came from. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss our new videos as they come out each week.